Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Futures in 5. We're taking a look at the ES right here. We know that the undercurrent is bullish, that we are moving up into key resistance zones. This is why we look at the volume profile event. See how it's thinning out right here? This is all price rejection. And so that's what we're looking at. Now, the thing about price rejection is that from underneath, if we're approaching it, the first pass ought to give us a reversal event. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen anyway. So although everything looks bullish, we're going to have to be very, very careful up above these zones. So you'll notice the targets that I have set out for you this morning in the blog are going to have quick triggers up at the top in terms of where you want to take profit. You don't want to hang out there. If it comes back, holds this price acceptance area, I like to call it, as it comes down into the space, you'll be able to re-enter, but caution today, very, very much caution. All right, taking a look at the NQ, we've got the same sort of thing going on. Congestion here in the space, bullish action, it's done fairly well. A lot of charts are trying to recover dramatically. We know that a lot of these charts have been just beaten to death with an ugly stick, as it were. Isn't that nice little southern lingo there for you, for those of you from the South? Um, yeah, so we've got to watch out. Here's the thing, a lot of building support right here. It's not as big as the primary support areas, but certainly building support here in this zone tells me that, you know, if we come back into 6712 or so, we have a fairly good, solid chance of getting a bounce. We also have folks that are caught unawares, seeing things squeeze, thinking that it's going to break down. Just please remember this, the biggest, sharpest up moves you're going to see are in bearish market spaces and spaces where the charts have given up a ton of its motion. And that is simply because what we are seeing is a frantic move to get out of positions that are underwater in the wrong direction, of course. All right, so that's what we're watching, 67.56 to 67.78 to 67.96, well above levels that have a ton of risk associated with them for more downside, but we are at the edges of resistance. For the YM, it's the same thing. That number's about 24,930 or so. You can see it creeping up from the last 2 weeks of the volume profile up here in the space, sideways action, and then right up here, low volume node. So could we bounce all the way up there? Yeah, we could. Will we? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see. This is a bounce zone. If I draw Fibonacci, I can see it giving me range expansion spaces. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to err on the side of the trend, and when it stops giving me higher highs, I am going to cut and run. This one's trying to make a bottom. We've got the G20, we've got OPEC, all of those things coming up into the space, and, you know, should be building a bottom. OPEC is saying that they are going to curb. They need to curb. But I don't know that it's going to do anything to really affect the price of oil at this juncture. Uh, a lot of reasons for that. So that's what we're looking at. Here's the range of motion all the way down to 50-30. Listen, could we lose this and move down? Yeah, we could. But I think that traders, remember, oil traders are some of the most emotional traders in the market space. Sorry, guys and gals, you trade oil, you know it's true. I loved oil, I trade oil. Right? I know all about that emotional space. We could have very big motion downside, but as it sits, pullbacks into support going to give us buy zones. Taking a look at gold, this one fell off a cliff. That's got to do with the dollar having a big punch to the upside. Let me take a look at the dollar on another chart while it is that I'm yammering here to you. And yes, it is still currently holding very close to prior highs. But again, that's sort of at a resistance zone. So we're building a bounce area here. What would I like to see? Listen, this is a VPOC. I don't think it's a VPOC, but it is a POC. The point of control here is really sitting right here at this juncture. You can say, hey, listen, I'm going to try this long on the pullback. Is it going to be choppy there? Yeah, it sure is. This is still downside. This slope is still downside, but the flattening action tells us that buyers are sitting in the mix. Notice this price acceptance area right here in the volume profile. It tells us, listen, old resistance, new support, tested as new support, gives us a little bit of a fade, so that certainly could happen. And then once it recovers, off to the races. Big auction vacuum right here should come all the way back up to 1220. Oh my goodness, we rolled contracts today. Crud. All right, this is last month's contract. Tomorrow we will have the new contract up and we'll be doing much better. The new contract really has us in the same measure of congestion, but it was in contango. And so these are the higher levels that we are looking at in the 1220 region. All right, everyone, that's it. Good luck trading today.